So I am a certifiable expert in Lord of the Rings. I'm just kidding. I'm only halfway through the first read. My first read for the first time in my life. And it's honestly, I think it's one of the best books I've probably ever read. It crosses off so many boxes for me. It's an incredible story. The characters are so relatable, just so fantastic. The settings are just interesting and kind of just make me want to be in the world. And just the world itself is so immersive that I kind of find myself lost every single time I open the book. And maybe most of all, and kind of what a lot of my essays have been about, is the writing is just top tier. It is a perfect combination of a book. And I'm only just beginning to understand why this is such a timeless classic that millions around the world love and adore. And as I'm reading, I'm kind of just finding so many incredible themes in this work. And it's something that I might write a bunch of other essays about as well. But I think Tolkien writes so well in so many different themes that he has, and so many different things too. He includes all these little commentaries on like environmentalism. He gives tons of tidbits on wisdom throughout the book. He kind of just seems to really value and prioritize the simple life. But I think after finishing book 3 of Lord of the Rings, which is really like the halfway point in the series, I think. I don't really know, but I think it is. I think one of the themes that has maybe impressed me the most is the idea of fighting evil no matter the cost. Fighting evil no matter what might happen. The end of book 3 has this incredible line that Gandalf has, and it's when Gandalf and Pippin are flying in the back of Shadowfax on their way to Minas Tirith. It's the middle of the night. They just had a Nazgul fly over their head, and there is danger around every corner. Pippin had just used the Palantir, and it seemed to set into motion all the plans of Sauron and seemed to kind of like unleash his forces into the world. And as they are riding to Minas Tirith, Gandalf delivers one of the greatest lines in the entire book. Legitimately, it is so fantastic. I mean, every single chapter has like these incredible lines in it that Tolkien just kind of throws in there for his characters, but this one is just next level. This is the whole paragraph. But I cannot tell how it will fall out, well or ill for us. It may be that the counsels of the enemy will be confused or hindered by his wrath with Saruman. It may be that he will learn that I was there and stood upon the stairs of Orthanc with hobbits at my tail, or that an heir of Elendil lives and stood beside me. If Wormtongue was not deceived by the armor of Rohan, he would remember Aragorn and the title that he claimed. That is what I fear. And here's a good part. So we fly, not from danger, but into greater danger. Every stride of Shadowfax bears you nearer to the land of shadow Peregrine took. Pippin made no answer, but clutched his cloak, as if a sudden chill had struck him. Grey land passed under them. This is what the whole book is about. This danger is overwhelming them. The elves are leaving the land. There is little hope in men, except from this ranger from the north who kind of just carries a Isildur sword, Narsil, which is now called Anduril. There are forces that are growing larger every single day in Mordor, and Sauron hasn't even begun to let his forces free in the world. The end of this book is kind of the beginning of this moment, when he starts to let them free. And this is when Gandalf says that he needs to fly into greater danger with Pippin. Now, I think J.R.R. Tolkien, who fought in World War I, is no stranger to this idea. Having seen some horrible things, I'm sure, and dealt with the terror of just trench warfare during that time, I know that this man understands well, almost all too well, the idea of fighting against evil and oppression, and not running from the darkness to stop it, but running into the darkness. And I think this is some kind of understood theme in the greater works of literature as well. The bravery and nobility to do what you must do, even though everything is going against you, and you are sure to lose. Lord of the Rings kind of typifies the idea of bravery perhaps better than any other story that I've ever read, but there's a ton of this in other series and other books as well. I mean, I'm thinking of the all too popular line in Game of Thrones, which is, it's the TV series. I haven't yet to read the books, which I probably will pretty soon. But I think of the line when Bran and Ned are talking and he said, "Can a man still be brave if he's afraid? That is the only time a man can be brave." It's just such a good line. And I think of the whole plot of Harry Potter as well, with the significant bravery that Harry showed in the face of his enemies when going into the forest to confront both Voldemort and his own death. And he did it knowing that he was going to die for the people that he loved. He knew he was going to die. The bravery to be able to do that willingly is what true bravery is all about. And it kind of sounds weird, but that almost feels like the peak human experience. I know that sounds really strange, but I don't want to really get into this all that much, but this is something that I want to talk to you guys about, and I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. But I think that is kind of likely how most human beings would want to die. It sounds strange. At least most of the men that I know. Yes, old age and dying of old age would be great, but dying for someone that you love, being able to sacrifice your life for that person, being able to be brave and look at death in the face when you meet it, I think these are the things that sometimes people strive for. It's at that level of bravery and nobility. And I think Tolkien recognized this in his work because every single character seems to do this. And because this is an essential theme that kind of points to the greater themes in all these incredible works. And I know it's super cliche, but it points to what I think is really the reason that we're created and the reason that we exist. Super cliche, but it's for love. Because what is bravery and nobility if not something done in the service for other people? Every person in the fellowship is acting in service and selflessness toward other people. It's our love of people and everything good in this world that keeps us holding on and keeps us fighting when all the odds are against us. And I mean, I'm not really at a point to say this in the story, but it's one of my favorite movie lines of all time, and it's in The Lord of the Rings. But it's when Gimli, he's just chilling there, smoking, I think, a pipe after the Battle of Minas Tirith. And he hears the plan to march on the Black Gate. And he says, "Certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?" It's like the best movie line. It's my favorite movie line in the entire series. Because this man knows that he's not necessarily going to fight for himself. He's fighting for a better Middle Earth. And he's fighting for a Middle Earth where his people can reclaim the mines of Moria and go back to the place in Helm's Deep where they could just look at the mines over there, because these are the beautiful things that they want to make more beautiful. And they just kind of want to make these things more illustrious because, again, these are the people who are making things more beautiful in the world. And I think that I find that the people in Middle Earth who are on the side of good are the ones that are making the world more beautiful and living in harmony with it, not tearing it down for their own purposes, not using it in a utilitarian way, but appreciating and living in symbiosis with the world. And then when Gimli says that line, he is willingly marching into battle and likely death because he knows that it gives Frodo a chance. He is willing to sacrifice his life for this idea. And another moment, and again, I haven't gotten there yet, but people in the book say that this moment is even more epic than the movie, but the battle cry with Theoden when he's marching into the Pelennor fields. He is riding, yelling death. Death on their enemies, yes, but also an embrace of death in his own army so that they fight for a better tomorrow. Now, again, whether you are fighting an evil that is small and you can conquer easily, you fight it. But again, the bigger themes and the ones that some of my favorite stories deal with are fighting evil when you are sure you are going to lose. Even if there is a certainty of death, you go out and fight it every day without stop. And it's a theme that I think Tolkien understood the importance of. And that's why I love this moment so much. Just this moment with Pippin on the back of a horse. And I even love his response so much that he kind of shows fear in this moment, but he has no choice. He just still rides on anyway. He kind of just seems like he bucks himself up and gets ready to go. Even though he may die, he is doing what he must do. I think all of these characters in this story are kind of just doing what they must do in order to ensure that good prevails. They are marching from danger, but also they're marching into greater danger. And I think this is one of the bravest things that any person can do. That's all I got for today. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.